at all. We never get enough. The Lord is nearer than He must be nearer than. Now what we are gonna do? Money can't help you. Rich man I feel it too. The Lord is nearer than He must be nearer than. Oh yeah, He's the strongest of the special spirit. If you have strong faith, you will stay alive. If you live with love, you shall survive. If you have strong faith, you must stay alive.
In the city there's no pity, yeah, no. So I man I go down there. Everyone I go down there. We must have to go back there. Black man have to go back in Africa. Chinese man I go back in China. Syrian I go back in Syria. Indian I go back in India. The white man I go back in Europe. Anything they do, we must have to get through. They say we must have to get through. No matter what the wicked man I say, no matter what the wicked man I do, we must have to get through. If I egg, we in at the red. If I bread, we dip on the head. If I jacket, we get in at the pocket. If I salt, we drop in at the pot. If I pop, we float on the top. Anything they do, we must have to get through. Anything they say, we must have to get through. No matter what the wicked man I say, no matter what the wicked man I do, we must have to get through. Everyone I go back home, Lord, we must have to go back there. No matter what the world might say. Ooh, well, we'll have to go back there, yeah, oh, yeah. When the right time come, it will be dread for some, but no one can stop the righteous ones. Repatriation is a must. We must have to go back there. No matter what the wicked man I say, no matter what the wicked man I do. Chinese man I go back in China. Syrian I go back in Syria. Indian I go back in India. The white man I go back in Europe. No matter what the wicked man I say, no matter what the wicked man I do, we must have to get through. Yeah, we must have to get through.
Look to the east for the coming of a black king. Look to the east for the coming of a black king. Christ in his kingly character. Christ in his kingly character. Christ Christ in his kingly character. Christ in his kingly character. One low brother man say Rasta. Who goes? It must be Jaja. Thank goodness I don't have to wonder. I know he is forever. Christ in his kingly character. 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 His foundation is in the holy mountains. Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of the Almighty. He's the living legend of this Iowa, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Christ in his kingly character. 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 Many know the truth and hide it. Many feeling the vibes and try to avoid it. But the truth must be revealed. I know my God is real. Christ in his kingly character. 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 I don't have to wonder. I know he is forever. Christ in his kingly character. 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 Help me look to the east. Help me see the King coming. Help me see the King coming. I wanna share something with you. Oh God, wanna share something with you. Yeah. Music is the rod and we are Moses. Yeah. Leading God's children to the promised land. Music is the voice of his brother Aaron, yes. Preaching and comforting at the Father's command. We have the power to turn things around. It's for us to stand up when we fall to the ground. I say this with a smile, pause for a while. Listen, my son, I wanna share something with you. Oh God, wanna share something with you. Yeah. Music is the rod and we are Moses. Yeah. Leading God's children to the promised land. Music is the voice of his brother Aaron, yes. Preaching and comforting at the Father's command. We have the power to turn things around. It's for us to stand up when we fall to the ground. I say this with a smile, pause for a while. Listen, my son, the prophets have come. Music is the rod and we are Moses, yeah. Leading God's children to the promised land. Music is the voice of his brother Aaron, yes. Preaching and comforting of the Father's command. No use in trying to compromise the truth. Our eyes are open, we're taking our youths to the land of our father, Mama Africa. Prepare yourselves, tell it to your neighbor. Music is the rod and we are Moses, yeah. Leading God's children to the promised land. Music is the voice of his brother Aaron, yes. Preaching and comforting of the Father's command. Striking the rock, making true love flow. Oh, that flowing love is what we need to go. With this, things can only be better. Setting the foundation for the future. Music is the rod, and we are Moses, leading God's children to the promised land. Music is the voice of his brother Aaron, yes. Preaching and comforting at the Father's command. Music is the rod and we are Moses. Leading God's children to the promised land. Music is the voice of his brother Aaron, yes. Preaching and comforting at the Father's command. We have the power to turn things around. It's for us to stand up when we fall to the ground. I say this with a smile, pause for a while. Listen. Exalt his name. You've got nothing to lose, nothing to lose. Remember when the food was Russian, not knowing where the first meal was coming from. People treated you as if you had no sense. The words of the Father were your defense. And now you're living in your mansion. You forget the past, Mr. Big Man, but you should rejoice in his name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in his name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, he remains. Rejoice in his name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in his name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, he remains. Once you couldn't find what to wear, want to make a move, not even was fair. When friends would act as if they didn't know you. Even your family, they forsake you. Well, it was Jah who carried you through. Yes, it's true. How could you forget the Most High? How could you? Rejoice in his name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in his name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, he remains. Rejoice in his name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in his name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, he remains. Don't eat and wipe your beak on the ground. No, if you're ungrateful, you must go down. You must go down. Just do the will of Jah and you will wear a crown. A clean heart is better than dollars and pounds. Oh Lord, rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, He remains. Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, He remains. Lord, exalt His name. Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, He remains. Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, He remains. Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Be thankful to Jah, He remains. Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Rejoice in His name, your life has changed.
Be thankful.
Now blessed is the Lord thy God, and blessed are they that do His work. Are you receiving? We have received it, who have sent we. And you receive it, who have sent we have received it, the Lord thy God. Bokoti Garnet, Satan, Charlie Chaplin. Do it!
Oh, well now, giving Isis to Haile Selassie the first. Easy Kakoti and Chaplain. He shall bow and every tongue shall tell. Jah is the highest. He shall bow and every tongue shall tell. Jah is the highest. Father, thanks for all that you have done and for what you're doing now. Well, I'm not saying I might not do wrong again, but I promise this time I'll be a better friend. Every knee shall, every knee shall. Charlie Chaplin coming out.
Joe, me say, every morning me get up me under God vibes. Pray for the wicked man ship the capsize. We want them realize how the God we recognize. Say when it come to God, Charlie don't compromise. Remember the 10 virgin we chastise. 5 little fool and 5 of them wise. Some of the pin a water about them baptized. But coming Kokotika we not compromise.
Give thanks and praise to Selassie I the King. Oh now yes, for all the loving and the joy He brings. He guide and protect us along the way, making provision for us every day. So on your knees, every Israelite must pray. Hear what I say?
I can thank you enough, mighty shepherd. Your love can't be measured. There are no words to describe you, but we bless thee for your everlasting show. Nisham, every coming. Principal.
Jesus Christ in the skinny character, no come as a lamb to be slaughter. Head to come back to watch a bullbuck and up the conqueror. Alpha and Omega, Akadama I Bashanti I. Ja! Rastafari, live in the heart of fire night. Ja! Lightning God. Ja! Thunder God and earthquake God. Ja! Rastafari, King Haile. Do it!
Oh, yeah, now,
Jah shall break their band asunder and cast away all their bad thoughts from us. That's a must, yes. Cause he that sitteth in Mount Zion shall laugh. Jah have them in the region. Well, if you know, say you a true Rasta man. El Coco and Garnet sing this a one Jaman. Charlie Chaplin is a true Rasta man.
How you mean?
Come on,
every knee shall bow and every tongue shall tell you. Jah is the highest. He shall bow and every tongue shall tell. Jah is the... Be still, all ye enemies of Jah, and know that the Lord God Jah the Almighty shall wound the head of his enemies. Jah, Rastafari, Haile Selassie the first. Oh, let God arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melteth before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God. Sing praises to his name. Extol him that rideth on the heavens by his name. Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie the first, our Father, strength and Redeemer, who lives and rules and reigns over all living things. A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God setteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in dry land. O God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, Father, strength and Redeemer, when thou wentest forth before thy people, when thou did march through the wilderness, Selah, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of God. But even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie I, the God of Israel. Though, O God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, did send a plentiful rain, whereby thou did confirm thine inheritance when it was weary. Thy congregation hath dwelt therein. Though, O God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, has prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Though ye have lain among the pots, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. When the Almighty God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, scattered kings in it, it was white as snow in Salmon. The hill of God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, is as the hill of Bashan, and high hill as the hill of Bashan. Why leap ye high hills? This is the hill which God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie I, desireth to dwell in. Yea, the Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, will dwell in it forever. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gifts from man, yea, for the rebellious also, that the Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, might dwell among them. Blessed be the Almighty God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, who daily leadeth us with benefits, even the God of our salvation, Selah. He that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, the Lord belongeth the issues from death. But the Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, shall wound the head of his enemies, and hear his scalp of such an one as goeth on still in his trespasses. There's the kind of love the world needs today. The kind of love the world needs today.
The DJ accepts no responsibility for the next record. This is a request.
There's the kind of love the world needs today. The kind of love the world needs.
The DJ accepts no responsibility for the next record. This is a request.
Teach me to love again. God bless a friend like you, helping others to love this way too. She's like a mother to me, like a sister to me, like a wife to me. Lady, you are near and far, one of God's greatest gifts. Honor you, African mixed, and I see the sweet the kiss. How could I ever resist calling her mother? Like her, there's no other. She's like a mother to me, like a sister to like a wife to be. Woman to be admired, love the bee and the birds. Love without desire, she soothes me with her words. She takes care of me, and she does it duty-free. Got to call her mother, like her there's no other. She's like a mother to me, like a sister to me, like a wife to be. Lady, you are near or far, one of God's greatest gifts. Honor your Africanness, and I seal this with a kiss. How could I ever resist love? Calling her mother, like her there's no other. She's like a mother to me, like a sister to me, like a wife to be. Yeah, yeah, like a sister to me, like a mother to me, like a mama, like a mama. There ain't no other. She's like a sister to me, like a mother to me, like a wife to be. Blessed descended friend, teach me true love again. God bless a friend like. There's the kind of love the world needs today. The kind of love the world needs today. Blessed descended friend, teach me to love again. God bless a friend like you, helping others to love this way too. She's like a mother to me, like a sister to me, like a wife to be. Lady, you are near or far, one of God's greatest gifts. Honor you, African mist, and I see this with a kiss. How could I ever resist calling her mother, like her there's no other. She's like a mother to me, like a sister to me, like a wife to be. Woman to be admired, love the bee and the birds. Love without desire, she soothes me with her words. She takes care of me, and she does it duty-free. Got to call her mother, like her there's no other. She's like a mother to me, like a sister to me, like a wife to be. Lady, you are near or far, one of God's greatest gifts. Honor your Africanness, and I seal this with a kiss. How could I ever resist love? Calling her mother, like her there's no other. She's like a mother to me, like a sister to me, like a wife to be. Yeah, yeah, like a sister to me, like a mother to me, like a mama, like a mama. There ain't no other. She's like a sister to me, like a mother to me, like a wife to be. love is way too, like a mother to me, like a sister to me, like a wife to be, like a wife to be. Yeah, 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 like a mother to me. Got to call her mother, like her there's no other. Got to call her mother. Got to call her mother. Calling her mother. Like a mother.
Stay at home, yeah. That little girl was born on the ghetto side of town. She knows every trick in the book and she certainly gets around. She's been with many men since she was only 10. She never stay at home. She's always on the run. Your mama is wondering where you are. What do you see at nights when you're under the stars? Baby, keep on running and you won't get far. Stay at home, sister, stay at home. Don't let your mama down. Don't be a runaround. No. Ooh, no. No, 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 no. Whoa, wait. Stay at home, sister, stay at home. Don't let your mama down. Don't be a runaround. Your mama is wondering where you are. What do you see at nights when you're under the stars? Baby, keep on running and you won't get far. You like to travel in a fast and shiny car. You travel with a group of movie stars. Sister, stay at home. Oh, yeah. Don't let your mama down. No. Oh, stay at home.
Greetings, we there with you, Things and Times. Yeah, man, the times. So we look at little more, the cause and effect, and it's really made us now look at ourselves more carefully. We spend more time with ourselves, our family, and we spend a lot of time in thought. Yeah, especially me, I tell you. We are going to classroom quick, listen. It's no time now, 8:35. Me I go on good, you know. I tell you. Things and Times, we're there with you.
Hey, what's up, world? I don't know who wrote this, but I thought I would share it with y'all. We fell asleep in one world and woke up in another. Suddenly, Disney is out of magic, Paris is no longer romantic, New York doesn't stand up anymore, the Chinese wall is no longer a fortress, and Mecca is empty. Hugs and kisses suddenly become weapons, and not visiting parents and friends becomes an act of love. Suddenly, we realize that power, beauty, and money are worthless and can't get us the very thing we're fighting for, oxygen. The world continues its life, and it's beautiful. It only puts humans in cages. I think it's sending us a message. We are not necessary. The air, earth, water, and sky, without us, are just fine. When we come back, remember that we are guests and not its masters.
Serious.
It said we'll never come, we'll never. Man, I say my, down in a drive.
Oh man. Yes, serious. The only people that can do these things, not the slipping of the record, is an African man, a black man. You see? I don't see and hear. The Queen, yes, Her Majesty, yeah, man. A nice speech. I could have censored that good, yeah. But I don't hear the prayers. I don't, you see, the world is just money. All of these nations, you see, and they want to make you believe, if you listen to them carefully, you know, it's only money that make this thing work. I tell you, it's a strange thing. But Her Majesty, yeah, man. She did look good too. Yeah, man.
Having a serious problem. Trinidadian people, all you, I don't know, boy, all you just overdo it, boy. The Prime Minister made a little statement a little while ago during a press conference saying that all restaurants will be closed from tomorrow until April 30th. And wait is all you're going to do. What you're going to do, me and my brethren decided to go take a drive just to see what the front look like. Pass by every fast food restaurant, line outside, like never see come see. Decide to pass by the drive-through part, traffic back up. 8, 9, 10 cars back up to go through a drive-through to get fast food. So all you can't do without that, boy? All you can't do without that? Oh God, man. Stay home. Cook your damn food. Eat home. All you too damn ridiculous.
And you know where my dog is sitting in the car eating, you know? Yeah. Him got a box and I sit in him car and eat, you see. But what my try says is correct. But at the same time, he's sitting in the car and eating. I hope soon I still collect me, you know. Now listen this, Africa.
My name is Cornelie. I am from DR Congo. I say no to COVID-19 vaccine trial in DRC. We are not guinea pigs and Africa is not a laboratory.
My name is Ruth. I'm from Democratic Republic of Congo and I say no to COVID-19 vaccine trial in DRC. We are not guinea pigs. Africa is not your laboratory.
I say no. No to the vaccine. To make DRC Congo your guinea pig. Nah.
Hi, I'm Divine, daughter of Africa, precisely from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I say no to COVID-19 vaccine testing in Africa. Africa is not a laboratory, neither are we Africans lab rats, so I say no to any vaccine test in Africa.
My name is Francis. I'm from Republic Democratic of Congo, and I say no to COVID-19 vaccine trial in DRC. Africa is not a laboratory.
Hey, my name is Joshua. I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I say no to the COVID-19 vaccine trial in DRC.
Hi, my name is Bruce Lebecki, and I'm saying no to the COVID-19 testing in Africa.
Hi, my name is Robert Mbala, and I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and I say no to the COVID-19 vaccination trials in Africa. Africa is not a laboratory, nor is it a guinea pig.
Hey, I'm Philip Mambakasa from Democratic Republic of Congo. I say no for the testing of COVID-19 in Africa. Africans are not guinea pigs. Together we stand, divided we fall.
A big one. Oh, yeah, there's the go. So that is a gun. Listen me. Hear me now. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. Now, all the thing. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened. more time. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. Yeah. I build me a coffin. I make it my home. Because that is my only choice. This kind of life, I leave it alone. Because when I look around and I see man raping their own daughters mercilessly, man living with man, woman with woman. So how must I live? I can't understand. Look, I'm frightened to live. Why you? I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. A bandit in my face with a gun. Take my guns and began to run. I'm in the station reporting what the bandit do. I was the same bandit I was reporting to. Look, I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. Come again, let me hear. I'm frightened to live. Why you? I'm frightened to live. One more time, come again. I'm frightened to live. Hey. I'm frightened to live. Hear me now. It is so obnoxious when I look around. Things I just hear and see. My God, how could I go on? Children killing children every day. Parents guiding their children to go astray. Tell me how those youths getting all those guns, and where in the world those guns coming from? Me see, I'm frightened to live. Where you? I'm frightened to live. You come again. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. Hear this. If in my ceiling they find coke and gun, is my whole family they carrying down. But if the police get caught with the same refrain, all they're getting is transfer to do crime again. You see, I'm frightened to live. Hey, I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. Come again, let me hear. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. Music. Now you see this verse? This verse is my verse. I want to listen to my verse. My verse. Yeah. If our child could die by the hands of a bandit, police may halfway search, they may never catch the culprit. But if Mr. Big Man child end up dead, they're going to paint the old damn tongue red, putting out all force and energy, finding the killer immediately. So how must I live? Why you? I'm frightened to live. Come again. I'm frightened to live. Hey, hear this. Hear this. Hey. I turn to church, that's the answer. Listening to the priest preach on the altar, while taking in the words of the Almighty. You know the priest pelting sweet at me. Is he a frightened to live? I'm frightened to live. Sing. Come again, let me hear. I'm frightened to live. Hey, I'm frightened. One more time. Yeah. Love all you. Seem like a one more.
Hey, my brother, they can't come for free. Hey. Oh, no.
Yeah. From creation, I'm on day, tribulation, I'm on a be, sufferation, I'm on a go to, and I want you to know it's very nation. I man a go.
Don't
must be something better than this for I and I. Oh no, we just can't sit around like this. Oh no, oh no, there must be something better than this for I and I. Working every day. I cannot go astray. Oh no, no, no. My brethren, hear what I've got to say. Oh yeah. Oh no, we just can't live like this. Oh no. Sitting down by the bridge. Oh yeah. Smoking a spliff and reason with I and I brethren. Oh yes, yes. This is what I and I always say. We have to use the pickaxe, the shovel and the fork. I can hear my people them talking. Oh yes, oh yes. This is what we say. Yes. Oh no, we just can't live like this. Oh no, no. There must be something better than this for I and I. There must be something for I and I. Yeah. I can't forget those days when I used to sit down under the cool shade of the tree. That's where we all used to be. While some man keeps on gambling, while some man never stops smoking. This is what we all been saying. Yeah. Oh no, we just can't live like this. Oh no, no. There must be something better than this for I and I. Yeah.
Such a natural mystery. Such a natural mystery. Such a natural mystery. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will hear. Could this be the first trumpet? Might as well be. Here we go! Such a natural mystery. Such a natural mystery. Such a natural mystery. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will hear. Could this be the first trumpet? Might as well be the last. Many more will have to suffer. Many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. Oh, yeah. Things aren't the way they used to be now. One and all got to face reality.
your door, then you will be safe for sure. But if you are in pretense, you're on the wrong side of the fence. Oh yeah, you better believe me. People, believe me when I tell you another thing I saw in vision right in front of my eyes. Sisters prostituting, selling away their lives. They get but very little pay, the ones who clean the mess. Minority who sits on top just rates themselves the best. But I see the fire spreading, it's getting hotter and hot. The house will want to be in the shoes of the have-nots. If the sign is on your door, then you will be safe for sure. But if you are in pretense, you're on the wrong side of the fence. You better believe me, my people. Believe me when I tell you another thing I saw in a vision right in front of these eyes. Sisters prostituting, selling away their lives. They get but very little pay, the ones who clean the mess. Minority who sits on top just rates themselves the best. But I see the fire spreading, it's getting hotter and hot. The house will wanna be in the shoes of the have-nots. If the sign is on your door, then you will be safe for sure. But if you are in pretense, you're on the wrong side of the fence. Fire burning, feel the fire burning, fire burning, 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 fire burning, feel the fire burning, 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 feel the fire burning.
What I teach now, yeah. The only way to reach is to practice what I teach now, yeah. Only way to reach. And if you're swimming or on beach now, yeah, don't get out of reach. And if you're dancing down the hallway, yeah, don't get out of straight. You better practice what I teach now, yeah. Only way to reach. Faith without work is a no faith, yeah. And faith without work is a no faith, yeah. And works without faith is a no work. No, I gonna practice what I teach now, yeah. The only way to reach is to practice what I teach now, yeah. Only way to reach, Speak to me softly in my ear, and I will hear thee, oh Lord. Yes, there is wheat, and there is there, but never let me be discarded. No, I'm gonna practice what I teach them. Only way practice of what you teach. Only way to pray is to practice what you teach. Practice what man, we say we're gonna reach it. If we practice what you teach, only way we're gonna reach. We're gonna reach it. If we practice what you teach. Practice what you teach. Say we gonna reach. Say we gonna reach. If we practice what you teach. Yeah. Practice what you teach. Whoa, we gonna reach. So we gonna reach. If we practice what you teach.
There's a land far, far away where there's no night, there's only day. Look into the book of life and you will see that there's a land far, far away. That there's a land far, far away. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords sit upon his throne and he rules us all. Look into the book of life and you will see that he rules us all. That that He rules us all. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords sit upon his throne and he rules us all. Look into the book of life and you will see that he rules us all. That he rules us all. There's a land far, far away where there's no night, there's only day. Look into the book of life and you will see that there's a land far, far away. That there's a land far, far away. Sagama, Sagana, Kibrila. Ulagi. Sagama, Sagana, Kibrila. Ulagi.
Yes. So we are going to talk and then we're gone. Quick, sharp. What the world has rationally put us through is a continuous cause, and the effect is what the citizens of the earth, the human beings, us, the people, are suffering from. What caused that which is the effect, we're not being told. But even if we were, and perhaps we have been, what would we do? What can we do? But follow the instructions. Those who are religious minded should know, see God first and not mammon. Because some of us say we see God first, but we lie to ourselves. Because when some pressure leak, it's not God we seek first. And there's a lot of things that we are going to, that we should be learning and will learn if we survive from this affair. Rationally, how to keep our homes and keep our lives and be connected. And how to cherish. I mean, so much about being careful, being considerate. And there's no room for hiding behind anything, really. The news don't say anything about crime wave, and particularly not take place to date, and may God prohibit it from happening, that we're hearing any of the crimes that we've been hearing for the last 2 years. So you see, on reflection, as Garvey said, when our back's up against the wall, and I wonder if the Garveyites are really thinking about that, because we're all in this. Yeah. And strangely enough, Britain have sent for its citizens that's in India and all across the world by the tenth, by the units, tenths, and hundreds. And our ambassadors undoubtedly has fled long time. And we're still here. We weren't even given an option. You see, seriously, think about that part. What was the option we was given? Or was put before us? From our ambassadors, our respectful, loyal, dutiful ambassadors, which they're not, none of those things. And many of us would have chosen to go to the Caribbean. We would have. Sit back and think about it. From once they spoke the truth, that they know, and let us understand that that's where they're heading. Because it's called Save Your Life to the best of your ability. Take some control of you, of us. Because right now, we're not in any control of anything. And that goes for a lot of people, for probably the general population. That doesn't see me as a black man at this moment in time. You see? So there's so much to be that we're learning, there's so much we are seeing, and there's so much more to be learned. And we will learn if we survive in the months to come. The weeks, the days, the weeks, the months. There's so much to read. And try to understand from scriptures. If one follows and not jump and play hula hoops, there's so much to read and understand. But even though we will, some of us, the leading bodies of the earth, we can't speak to them. They listen not to the citizens. But if they speak in truth, whatever this thing is, they're also involved. So we're not spared. And hopefully there be a change. And they would assess and evaluate their conscience. And also, those who are worried about them employment, let's be rational about the whole thing. You can't go out. So, what employment? Who you work for is not there. Them two is at home. So it's not like we are able to go into work, but we are refused to go into work because we have taken the decision of the authorities, the government, to stay at home. No. The employer is a human being. And them two are looking after them vested interests themselves. They would like to be earning, but they're being told that they can't. Not earn. They're told that they cannot run their business. Them have to obey the instructions. Many of them are doing their paperwork to get the money, the backatives from the chancellor. But you know, statutory employees, which are governmental and local authority staff, they will be top. A major franchise would also be. Small businesses and others, they would have to have paper trail and justification, and so much things are going to have to happen for them. Because first thing they're going to look upon is frauds. You know, somebody might come up and say that they might have 50 workers and they only have 10 or 20. So it's a lot of things. But my point is, the concern obviously should be our lives. And let Jack take care of that jacket. Because it will be taken care of. No council should be penalizing tenants for their rent. And if information is being received, that's how the database, that's how the time, what they call that thing? That's how the family is being set up. So you probably get information saying that this and this is overdue. So that have to be taken care of. And that's got to be understood. Basically that we haven't been working, so there's no income, and then one can't be paying. So there's all these talk about suspension of these things. So those things have to have paper trails. We can't sit back and say, boy, true to a memory. You have to write that stuff down. And if you haven't received any documentation to date, you have to make that be known on our paper trail that from this date, no formal information was received from whatever council and so forth and so forth. You understand? We have to just not act like we don't understand England. You understand? We have to don't behave like say we don't understand England and then looking for a lot of verbal exchanges, because that now go twist our work anyway. It will not. Experience I'm talking, it will not. Council tax but the same suspension. No, the alarming one, really, the alarming one is the rates. It's the rates. I have not seen, heard any documentation from any of those providers saying that they're following what the government has stipulated. See? So, you know, I say the children is at home. Yeah, everybody's at home. So, the heating and the electric. But the heating, yeah, the heating is going to be a serious thing because of gas. You see? Yeah. So those things need to be looked at. Those people who are punch meat and things like that are not good. You understand? Once the corner shop and these people that charges up your keys them and so forth, they're bout. You understand? But others, nah, that's the one that we have to really deal with. Because I can hear an argument where they're going to say, but it's you who are using it. But I can put an argument to say, if not for this lockdown, I'd be working and my children would be in school. So I wouldn't have had a 12-hour day in the yard, in my house. See, I already worked out the amount of hours, you understand? But still, these are things that we're going to have to be on point with and don't stress. But they're going to be the ones, the rates are going to be the one that's going to like take a lot of negotiations and understanding and, yeah, once we come out the other side. You see. So those of us, we should write the Queen and say, here what, Your Majesty, you have so much rooms about this place. You understand? We much prefer to come rest with you. And you understand, polish the place and everything. Yeah. Because you have enough room in her. Enough room and enough facility. So we lock our ones up and just go over this. So, you know what I mean? And give her some lyrics every now and again. So causes and effect, you see, whether it's China, whether it's America, it did it. It's here, whatever it is. But from my electronical knowledge, there's some other thing as well. There's something else as well. And that's radioactive. There's something else as well. You know. Hopefully, we see the Prime Minister doing a Churchill. So we say, may God have mercy on him Yeah, it's a human being. You know, if my mother was here, she would have slapped me and tell me, said, I hope you don't even think nothing wrong, because it's another human being. I'm telling you. So, and we have to look at families. We have to make contact all across this earth, you know. Because in America, there are people who have lost their lives. And due to the stringent way of their lockdown, there's no one there claiming them, because there's no one being notified in the first instant that that person has been taken in to some medical care. And no, they have lost their life. So where we are, we have to big up the people them. You have to give Jack right in him jacket. Because we don't know what's going on, but we're not being treated harshly. We're in the dark. And we don't know what's happening around the NHS, because the services have to be given to people. I would not like to think that their preferences, but we know this. We know this life. Racism just doesn't stop. But for those who are moral and rational, they should see that whatever this thing is, it not see people, it not distinguish between races, creeds, and colors. It will take anybody. Anyone. So, we must pray and do good. And ask God to shower his mercy on this earth. Not on me, on this earth. For the earth belongs to the Almighty, so do we. But you see, we fall into some folly. You understand? We have. And those who like Christ, no say that Christ is of goodness. And the law are the instructions that was granted unto Moses to teach man, to instruct man, and to guide man. He only came to fulfill them and to show how genuine and sincere and loving and kind that we should be. We who are after Moses and we who are now. It's all about guidance. It's all about fulfilling. It's all about living. It's all about doing. It's all about seeing the signs. And working with those signs naturally, each individual. But we follow the signs of man, and many of us are lustful. We have these appetites for mammon. And when we're in trouble, agony and pain like we are in right now, it's only God that comes to thought. And others, they tend now to think that what would Christ do for them? And they very well know what Christ would have done. I know the instructions of Christ, but it's been polluted. So they're not sure, even though they know. And why I'm saying it like that is because the inner being, the nature of us human beings, is connected to the Almighty. So we play around with our conscience. Whether we have done something bad, good, or indifferent, we play with it. But when it registers, we should be true to ourselves. And then you find true spirituality, because that which we call spirituality is the love of God. It's the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the love of the Almighty. Flip that round and see someone who gets hurt. They're in pain. Them scream for God. But you have some people that will say, oh, Jesus Christ, and stuff like this. But you know what has come out to them of really? Lord God, please help me. See? Let's be honest. Let's be truthful. I watch people saying, come out to your balcony and clap. Clap for this and clap for that and so forth. Me ain't hear nobody say, let us stand up. Whatever which way you want, let us pray to the Almighty to help us through this. And thank all those people, our brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers and sons and daughters that are in the front rows doing their medical stuff, helping us to stay alive and try to save some of our lives. Me not hear that. I ain't hearing that. And all of you have not heard that. I just see people say, clap. So it seems that the world that we live in is not God-fearing. Or them just hide it? Are they ashamed? Or it come to clapping? Nobody not say, see God. Let we pray. See what you say, do what you do, let's all do it. Nobody not say it. Them say clap. Come out on the balcony, this, that. I tell you, man, serious thing. When you assess these things, you see to yourself that, anyhow. And that's not making people are trying to dictate to anyone, you know. 'Cause all of us feel the same way. But you can see that how this world has been run. You can see all these bigger heads, especially these so-called first world people. And it's diabolical to hear them say that this and that, them don't have sufficient of. And it's not like them they've used 10,000 or 50,000 of something. Them only had a small amount in the first instant. But them have enough bombs. Them have enough artillery. They have enough airplane and helicopter. Them have enough. Hey. See? And that's what the world citizens should look at. And if we come out the other side, I keep saying if because, you know what I mean, I could date too. Then the citizen of the earth shall vote for good people, for goodness. That we want rational, sincere, loving, cherishing people that love this earth and would save this earth. Because saving this earth is saving its people. But all the polluting and all these mammon research has caused us problems. And you get a man speaking like him don't know something already, because him say if this happen and that happen, this is liable to happen. And if that happen and that happen, this is liable to happen. I'm tired of these people. Because they don't know nothing. All them do it is interfere with things and the thing get out of hand. And then put on a face like they're not frightened. And them frightened, you know. It's just that them live a life or an environment different to most of us. They may even got quarantine set up in for them house. So a world that neglects God. But yeah, me feel good when me see the Queen, man. Yeah, man, Her Majesty, man, yes. And I look for all the cream that they probably have put on her face and everything, but she wasn't shining or nothing like that. It looked natural. You know, the powder was around, you know what I mean, because, right? But there was no glass, you know. She looked natural, yeah. I don't know, she's, hey, she has something to take dextrate or something, you know, anyway, I have to look at her again, because it look like she can write with both hands. You see? The Queen. My wife was sign one document for me, but I tell you, I just looked on her yesterday where it looked like it's both hands she work with. So I don't know if the left hand, you know, you send people away, and the right hand is the people them that you keep. I don't know. But I have to watch her again and see. Cause, yeah, I noticed that. But you look good. She look good. She look good. Yeah, man. Her Majesty. Yeah. Her Majesty. But you don't know nothing about Charles, is it? You don't know nothing about Charles. They don't talk about Charles. You know what I mean? I mean, why hear what happened to Prince Charles, you know? A fully friend that, you know. So we have say guidance, we're gone, you know. Take care of ourselves, take care of your family, make contact with people, you know. Find out if you are relative in America. Hey, listen, you see our Brazil, how about South America where the African them is in the diaspora now? We're not being treated good at all, you know. We're the last one getting help about them places there. You see? And in Brazil, oh my word. See some news, man. See Brazil. You cry, I'm telling you. But check your family, see what's going on, make contact. You know what I mean? I think this WhatsApp thing, yeah. Zoom. Yeah, Zoom. Zoom seemed to be far-reaching, you know? Yeah, Zoom. Me not have it, but my son running computer is Quranic class on Zoom. Yeah, Zoom, ZOOM. Yeah, man, far-reaching. That one there. Skype is not far-reaching. Yeah, you still have to put some credit in, but Zoom, connection, bang, you're gone. You're in there. So we must do that and see that, you know, they're all right. There's not much you can do if they're in critical condition, but if they died, at least someone has given them a name and whatever they do to the bodies, then it has a name. You know what I mean? It's not the John Doe. The body has a name. Oh gosh, man. See, that thing, they sound horrific. So we gone again. We gone for real. Salaam alaikum. Guidance. Take good care of each and every one. Say a prayer continuously. You know what I mean? And thank God for every minute that we get. You see? Yeah. Guidance. Yeah, you see me? Me smart, you know. Watch and see. Listen. Did I just say smart? Me bright. Not smart, me bright. You understand? You hear that part there? It's only Almighty can solve this, you know. Right? Even though there's so much obstacles and there's so much, we are God's people and this is God's planet. It's just that some people, they want to dominate it. I don't understand how come the story of Pharaoh isn't being understood. You know, not all the Pharaohs them, you know, okay, you must understand. You see, it got to a stage where them feel say, them is God. You want to read the story good, proper and slow. And stop remembering what the pastors or whoever were saying. Read for yourself and go very slowly. And you see that the Pharaoh at the time of Moses, when he was a child, things are run good. Things was running good for years and years and years. But the one that him daughter, him family found Musa. He was an upright man. Most black people don't want to know say that the Pharaohs them. They want to see that Kemet was black, but they don't want to see that, I don't know, that Pharaoh was black too. Because we seem to pick and choose, you know, and finish up always losing. So Musa come up with a good man. But the people them, up to Joseph, Yusuf alayhi salam, Kemet was a righteous place. The capital of the earth. Before Rome. But not dominating people. They're searching out for God. They're searching spirits. They're trying to understand what is life. They're going in themselves to find out, understand, and experience what is life. And they also had a feeling that death is another journey, but they want to come back. Because many of them said there's things that they didn't fulfill. So they want, them know they're going to experience death, but they want to go so far and do a U-turn and come back because they not fulfill their obligation or their mission or their projects, whatever. That was the spiritual dimension of many of them. But when we come to Moses, that Pharaoh or Moses exiting, he died. By the time Moses come back, him passed already. It's Moses' stepbrother that inherit the upper seats that you call kingship and all them things. He was the Pharaoh. Ramses the second, if I'm correct. But Moses' stepbrother. And him change the persuasion to himself. Problem. So then look at Moses and his return and see and acknowledge the conversations. Instead of looking at all these miracle things, read the conversations between Ramses and Moses. Pay close attention to the conversations. That's why I said, release your mind from what pastors have been saying. Read for yourself and read the conversations. Slowly acknowledge the conversation between Moses and Ramses, his stepbrother. Follow it very carefully. And I'm telling you that you see the arrogance of Ramses, and you see that Ramses testify that he's God on this earth. That he is. And nothing can happen without passing through him. Problem. But what did the Almighty do? The Almighty separated us from ourselves. One set from another set. But what does fashion people them do? They want to say, well, this one was an Israelite, this one was a this, and this kind of thing, and then and choose to be black African when they feel like. See? It's just like the other person who says about Ham, Shem, and Japheth and the curse, and we become black. Now, when that is closely examined, it don't make no sense. But when they put in Nubia, Chad, and so forth, then you're saying different nations because, right? So they drop these things and you think like, wow, yeah, that must be true, So then you have they have the Nubians, but then you have the Abyssinians. But yet still people say, well, they're the same. But Nubia, so you see, the conjectures and creating. Read that which you have. And you see that the argument was about man putting ourselves at a level and demote God. And demote God. And start doing some hideous things. But then you see that all that we were doing, we were told to desist. And it's not like a moment, a day or two. It's over a period. That's the next thing we need to understand. Don't think that it was a fleeting moment. It's over a period. And stiff neck and hardness. And Moses, if you read it good, you listen to the conversation, he's told them that God said, go back to that which was your foreparents. Read it. That which was. And then you know the excellence that we had. We always were people of monotheism. We've always been what we call Islam. We've always been doing right until we became too full of ourselves. Like these scientists. See? Serious. And true to that decay, Rome and others entered, because now we become sloppy and we just like them, and they come over there to be like us. They wanted to be. And them they helped transform and decay. So the decay of Kemet arrived. You think it decayed after Ramses? During Ramses? No. Ramses died too. You remember? He come after Moses, thinking that him is this big bad man, and him come. He got drowned. His body's being preserved up to today in this world, on this earth. What is all this about? Know the truth. Seek God first, not second, first. And don't clothe God with all sorts of other things. If it's only the word God, you know, work with that. But don't put a man in the presence and graduate that man, whoever it is, to a godlike position. And then you want to go through that man to get to God. Because when you listen to the whole thing, you go through a man to get to God, and then you see that the same man is God too, and so forth and so forth. Confusion. That's a distortion of a signal. And if it's a telephone, you're not getting connected. If it's a broadband, it's buffing. It's not even buffing. Nothing happen. If it's a television, you're not seeing anything. Whatever media network that we use on this earth, and you're trying to call God with that particular thing, it ain't working. It hasn't been, and it will not. It's not even being fused. There's no connection. None whatsoever. That's why Akhenaten left. See? So throwing him into the ring now, that's what a lot of us have to do. Leave that thing alone. Leave it to them. Leave it to them. You will never be alone, because the Almighty is in all of us, is with all of us. He cannot divorce us. It's we who forsake God. It's we who disconnect with God. And we allow the beasts of this earth to also help and hinder us to do so. Because we lust after the things that they think they possess. And they behave like they're not going to leave this earth. Show us any that was here before that is still here now. Their names, and some of them, their names they even call. Because what did they do? Bomb up here, bomb up there? No, they made their country a country that other people in fear. And when they find that that was not working, them create a thing called allies. So it's not just them that do something. It's them with their allies. Now look at everybody. Isn't every man for himself and God for a soul? Everybody is in the same condition right now. I want to be with Musa. I want to be with Christ. I not want to be, I'm with them. In the line of them. See? The line means that they obey. They are here to God. They never hear and bow to man. Christ fled from Rome. All those institutions that call themselves big and he had to continually fled from them. Not one of them rein him in. There's no trial. Salaam alaikum. Gone.